Growing concerns over juvenile crime are playing out across the state. Last week, a DJS employee reached out to Fox 45 News, raising an alarm about toxic and unsafe working environments.
Fox 45's Mackenzie Frost joins us live from the newsroom with the latest developments. Mackenzie.
Yeah, Mary and Kai. So this employee does not want to reveal their identity because they're afraid of potential retaliation as they still work for the Department of Juvenile Services. But the severe staffing shortages they describe have been documented in reports to the department. And the questions that we asked the department last week and the answers we received raise even more questions about the level of transparency we're seeing from the agency. The Department of Juvenile Services has 5 regions across Maryland with several facilities. A longtime DJS employee tells Fox 45 News there are nearly 30 employees on work-related leave at the Western Maryland Children's Center in Hagerstown alone. The employee says staff are forced to work 24 hours in one day as there is no staff to relieve them. These concerns mirror what the Juvenile Justice Monitoring Unit found in the 2024 annual report for WMCC. Juveniles are placed in their cells when there are not enough staff to work in the units, which is a practice of inappropriate confinement and de facto seclusion. The facility is plagued by low staff morale, high numbers of staff out on injury leave, and despite WMCC having a smaller population size, it had the highest rate of incidents in 2024.
And whenever there's a staffing shortage, you are going to run into safety issues if you don't have a sufficient number of employees to monitor the people being detained.
Jeremy Eldridge, a Baltimore area trial attorney, says staff shortages are not new to detention centers, both in the juvenile system and adult, but there must be a focus on recruitment. What does that mean for the juveniles who are in those facilities?
The idea at these staff secure facilities is to offer, whether it's individualized therapy, trauma-related therapy, education, but if you have an insufficient number of employees such that some of these programs cannot be monitored adequately if you have 30 kids in a room or 15 kids in a room, then you run into a decline in programming and then the children actually suffer.
According to the Department of Juvenile Services, the agency has reduced frontline vacancy from 17% in January 2023 to 5% today.
Even though the Department of Juvenile Services has said that they've increased their working staff by 20%, making only an approximate 6% shortage in workforce, what's very unclear right now is whether the individuals, and apparently a great number of individuals that are on medical-related leave due to incidents within the facility, are counted in that number.
We followed up with DJS, asking if that vacancy rate includes the number of staff members who are out on medical leave. What is the percentage of employees who are currently on leave? And what's the average length of medical leave for DJS employees?
And until DJS is able to clarify that number, it's unclear whether this reduction is true to form, meaning that they only have a 6% shortage, or whether that is not actually terribly accurate.
Meanwhile, without adequate staffing at the Western Maryland's Children's Center, the longtime DJS employee says they have been forced to work on their off days. And the state monitoring unit says DJS headquarters should prioritize WMCC until staffing levels are stabilized and a much improved culture and climate is firmly established. Because right now, both staff and youth continue to report feeling unsafe. Now, once again, the Department of Juvenile Services did acknowledge the questions that we sent to them today, and a spokesperson said they're working on gathering that data. So far, I have yet to get it, but when we do, we'll bring it to you. Live in the newsroom, Mackenzie Frost, Fox 45 News.
I'm Mary Bubala. Thank you for watching. Here's another video for you to watch. Also, take some time to subscribe to our YouTube channel.